The Angle Slam
podcast. Hey, we're going to be croaky for this one.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a sore throat from doing singing and then shouting at this pay-per-view last night. So we don't sound great.
I'm sore throat, not as bad as him, but my body's sore because I'm drumming and stuff as well. So,
yeah.
But we're kind of in the, you can't see it, but the room's a state.
Yeah.
Adam's on the floor.
Doing redecorating.
Yeah, but
on the floor like a hobo.
But we do it for you. we do
Fucking sacrifices we make.
Yeah, so, get us some more views, you dicks. So
that's the way to go with the fan base.
Yeah.
Just call them dicks.
So we'll get past the deaths because I suppose the latest and the main one is Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yep.
Which
sucks.
It sucks. I think he was ill for a while, and it's not like he was young, and just kind of a spoiler for SummerSlam a bit. The fact that Natalia was on the show is
credit.
Yeah, very brave move, and lots of credit to her. Cause thoughts with the Hart family. But there was a 3 in one day, and you have to forgive me because I forget one of them. But there was Nikolai Volkov, who was a Russian superstar from the 80s, tag team with the Iron Sheik, that kind of legend. And Grandmaster
Sexay,
Brian Christopher, also known as Jerry Lawler's kid.
See, when it happened, I totally forgot he was Lawler's kid.
Yeah.
I just totally forgot, and then I saw the picture of him at the funeral. I was like, oh, fuck!
Yeah.
I just didn't enter my brain at all.
Yeah, it was one of them where, I don't know if it's because of, he obviously wasn't the biggest legend and superstar in the industry, but when it came up on the news, it was still like, nah, Brian Christopher, no way. And then, because at first it was rumour, and then and I was expecting to be like, nah, it's rumour, he's fine. But because unfortunately suicide strikes again, and he must have had his demons, and he hung himself. So
that's depressing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him, but he obviously had his demons, and thoughts are with the Lawler family.
Yes.
So, we've got the
dedicated to all those guys.
Yeah, we'll get the bleak stuff out of the way and go on to the biggest part of the summer.
Yeah, SummerSlam.
Very
anticipated.
I wouldn't call it a party this year. Biggest event of the summer, maybe.
Yeah.
But it wasn't exactly party time because there's a lot of pros and cons.
What we'll quickly say as well, NXT TakeOver, awesome.
Yeah, start the week.
It wasn't a bad match on the card at all. Make sure you go and watch it.
Yeah.
And then pre-show, if you just breeze by that quickly.
Yeah, again.
3 rollers, weren't it?
I think I didn't notice at the time, but someone said, you're right. There was
3 roll-ups.
Rusev and Lana versus Almas and Vega.
No, I mean, I'm fine with them losing as long as I say it was Lana that ate the pin, which is fine because I didn't want Rusev to. So it is what it is. But yeah, it was a roll-up.
Yeah, it was a lot of...
And he never really got going. Rusev barely did anything. I mean, Lana got like a couple of spots, and then after suddenly she just got distracted and rolled up. Job done.
Yeah, it just seemed a match with a lot of nothing happening.
Not even bothered.
Well, doing something, but still nothing happening.
Yeah. It felt like just putting them in there just because, we'll put them on the card.
Yeah, because of pre-show, you need to fill up the hours. But they had the thing with Aiden beforehand, though.
Yeah,
so we don't need you.
At all.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they lost without him.
Maybe that'll build something.
Yeah, something might happen.
Maybe we do need you.
Yeah.
What was the next one?
It was the Cruiserweight Championship.
Which I thought was reasonable.
It was okay.
It wasn't too bad. I haven't been watching 205 Live, so I wasn't really invested, if I'm completely honest, but... it was alright. It had some good spots.
It was a standard cruiserweight match.
And then unfortunately, it was a roll-up.
Yeah, unfortunately, the crowd just weren't into
don't
it.
want that.
No, you don't. I mean, the crowd just weren't really into it.
Well, half the crowd wasn't there yet.
Yeah, and then it's also the part where it's just we just want to get to the main show here, and also the risk of having a title match on the pre-show, and this is just confirming this, is that you kind of know no title's going to change hands, otherwise it'll be on the main card.
Yeah.
But there was the one big spot, which was the Spanish Fly, and then there was just the roll-up thing that I knew there was a cock-up, because I think Cedric struggled to reach Drew Gulak at one point.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of did roll-up, and then in one of them he got him.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, well... All right.
It's not a cruiserweight thing, is it?
No, but...
And then we had the Raw Tag titles as well. I'm annoyed that it was on the pre-show because I'm so behind the Revival wanting to be pushed and just giving them a decent spot. And this could have been their spot by taking the titles, but again, you put it on the pre-show, it's probably not changing hands, and it didn't. Again, it was another roll-up fluke win.
Yeah.
And I understand that works for the character of the B team. I get that because
that's their thing.
Sneaky tactics or just a fluke win. That's fine. That's building a character, but it's at the expense of the Revival, and that's what annoys me.
I think what annoys me is I get they want to get the B team over. If they want
someone else.
Well, it's not even the Revival thing. Really, it's just like, okay, you got the B team.
Put the Revival against AOP and have them feud for fucking ages. That would be awesome. AOP, to the point that they go, right, well, one of these guys is the next contender.
AOP should be becoming dominant, like Sanity should have as well, but they're just being wasted. Yeah. The thing with the B team, obviously they're going, right, if you want to get Curtis and Bo over, we'll give them the Raw Tag Team titles. But the fact that you put them on the pre-show isn't just diminishing what you're trying to do with them, it's diminishing the championship as well. Yeah. So it's kind of like, now the B team hold the Raw Tag titles, the titles are as important. Yeah, that's the message you get across, and it shouldn't be that. So
it's a shame about the pre-show. But then on the main card, first one in was Intercontinental.
Yeah,
so obviously we had Ziggler and
after a few technical issues on our end, scary.
Fucking hell, it kept going off, and they had to put it on the network instead, didn't
it? Yeah, but it got sorted.
Yeah, so it was Rollins versus Ziggler, Drew in Ziggler's corner, and then obviously the returning Ambrose in Zach's corner, and he's fucking jacked. It was awesome. And it was one of the best matches of the night.
It was a very good match.
It was really good.
Seth, it's become kind of the norm that Seth and Dolph aren't going to put on a disappointing match.
No, I can't really say whether it was their best one to date, but it was definitely one of them.
I remember watching it thinking, this isn't the best of their...
But it was up there.
Yeah, well, it was one of them where, even though unfortunately you get used to the spots, every now and then they're throwing a surprise. Obviously, every now and then Drew and Dean
squared up. And it's the thing, it's the first time, if it was before he jacked himself up, I'd have been looking at it going, Drew will destroy him. But you look at him and you go, no, I think Ambrose can take him.
It's a match you want to see.
Yeah, definitely.
The best bit was the reverse suplex, the reverse Vulcan Arrow. Genius.
It was amazing. What a spot.
The whole place just went to their feet.
Yeah, that was incredible. Something I loved as well was the fact that Rollins came out in Thanos gear.
Yeah,
that looked fucking cool. So now he's done the Night King and Thanos. I'm thinking, what's he doing next? I can't wait.
Well, the thing is as well, what everyone was expecting was the Dean heel turn.
Yes, and it didn't happen.
But even at points like when he stood behind him, it was like Dirty Deeds is coming after. Yeah, because
Rollins won, and there was a couple of times after they were celebrating in the ring that Ambrose was directly behind him with his face on
something's going to happen,
and we were like sitting up in our seat going, "It's going to happen here. It's going to happen here," and it just didn't.
Yeah, it was one of them.
I'm surprised it didn't because because of all the rumours going around and us internet guys constantly saying it all week. Yeah. And maybe Vince went, we'll leave it for another time.
Well, that's it. It's one of them where, in a way... I mean, it's interesting to see that they've thrown the Intercontinental title back on Seth.
Yeah, because I didn't think they would. I thought they'd keep it on Ziggler and do something else, and then obviously Dean and Seth would have their feud. Because they don't need the title to have a feud.
Well, that's it. I think something might happen on Raw tonight. It wouldn't surprise me if going into Raw, they announced straight off the bat Dolph's putting his rematch for the Intercontinental title. Dean might do something then, because seeing Dean and Seth feud for the Intercontinental title is something I'd want to see, but it wouldn't surprise me if nothing happens yet and Dean just goes straight into rivalry with Drew McIntyre, which is fine. But I think people want to see Dean and Seth more.
But it depends how they tackle the characters. Yeah. At the moment, he hasn't even opened his mouth.
That's it. The fact that
we don't know what his mindset is. All you can tell from what his aggression and the way he carries himself in the pay-per-view.
It's like the reset.
You look at it like, right, okay, is this how we're going? Like the strong, silent type character. Yeah. So maybe, we'll see how it goes. But it was a good match, solid opener, and again, like I say, if you use those guys to open a match, open a card, it's just
it's going to get the ball rolling,
gets you fucking pumped.
And it's the way they ended it. The fact that you wanted Dean to do it and it didn't. It's still that
leaves you wanting more.
Yeah, well, it leaves you interested. Where they're going to go with this? You want to know what happens next. So that was a good match. Then SmackDown tag titles.
Yes, Butcher Brothers versus New Day. It was Xavier and Big E side.
Again, not a bad match.
No, it wasn't a bad match. It was quite decent, but it was quick. It was only about 6-7 minutes maybe. There was a few reasonably good spots, and then it was just a DQ loss because I'm all right with it.
It's good for Butcher Brothers' character.
Yeah, I'm all right with it. One, because maybe they're starting to think, we're struggling here, we might lose this. So
dirty
tactics. But the thing I quite like about it is that they actually used the hammers. Because since they've had them, they haven't fucking used them.
No, they
they've
kind of
teased
briefly
it and not
used it on
touched it.
Kane.
But now they've used it. It's like, right, okay, that's if you're going to do the DQ, do it that way. Use the hammers. Because you can't have those props and not fucking use them. So that, right, it is what it is, and I'm not that fussed because. Let's be honest, we all want Bludgeon Brothers versus Sanity instead.
I think I was hoping for. I was definitely wanting more time for that match, and maybe just a little more because I didn't see it as like either New Day. New Day had been white hot so far, and I didn't see it as they didn't destroy the momentum, but they didn't exactly carry it on. And Bludgeon Brothers have still got, they've got the ability to do better matches, and I think they know that. But the spots I liked, because there was a few good spots on the outside of the ring with Big E, the suplexes, and then Xavier's elbow,
that
to the outside was really good.
Yeah, that was good.
Standard match.
I'd say it was a high caliber SmackDown match.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It was
not quite pay per view, but you just like that. It's still really entertaining.
I think it was pay per view worthy, but it's not the match you talk about once you remember it in a couple of years. So it was alright.
Solid.
Then there's Kevin Owens Braun.
This was the biggest disappointment.
Yeah, this was the shit part of the show.
And it was like the problem is it was because there was so much anticipation and so many options available to us. So what could actually go on here because of the DQ option? He can get DQ'd by any point, and then Kevin will get the case, and obviously that changes the landscape of the main event. So there's so many options and different flavours out there. You just don't know what's going to happen. So the fact that he was flattened in a minute, he was just run over 3 times, power slammed, good night. They didn't even get a chance to use his DQ stipulation.
No, the stipulation
what's
was
the point?
ridiculous.
It was fucking redundant. What's the point?
The thing is,
and it buries fucking Owens. If he was doing that with Jinder, I wouldn't give a shit. I'll be all over it. Yeah, fucking bury him. Don't care. But it's Owens. It's fucking Kevin Owens. We all love this guy. He deserves so much fucking more.
It's no secret that a majority of the WWE universe don't really get on with the Jinder, the character thing. He's a little bit better now because he's trying something different. So it's it's kind of like, we'll pay attention to you, but we're still not sold. But the fact that you're wanting to have Jinder involved in that match and it don't happen. But when Kevin came out, he had that intensity and
he even had KO in the Bank t-shirt.
Yeah, KO in the Bank.
As soon as the match was over, the first thing I thought was, well, that was a waste of making that t-shirt, wasn't it? Because it's not going to happen.
Or a one-off. But it's just one of them where Kevin came out full of intensity and it was stupid to think, because again, Braun didn't really need to prove dominance in this. He's been doing it for about 2 years now.
He doesn't need that case, but I think that it'd be better for storylines. Kevin.
But the way he squashed him is like, what's this proven? We know how monstrous you are. You don't have to do this again.
You don't need to prove it.
But the Kevin came in with intensity, and no one, because of the characters and who he's against, no one thought, oh, look how jacked and ready Kevin is. He's ready to kick Braun's ass. Because it was like, no, it doesn't matter how jacked he is, Braun will kick his ass. It's more like he's ready because he's got something up his sleeve. Turns out it was nothing.
No.
There was no Jinder getting involved.
No, there's nothing.
Not using the stipulation whatsoever.
It's disappointment. It's pointless.
It just crushed it.
It was completely pointless, man.
As soon as it went 1, 2, 3, everyone was like, what was that?
If you think about it, if you'd removed that from the card, everything would still go the same.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant. It doesn't even build up towards Jinder and Braun in any way, shape or form. Nothing happens out of that match. Everything stays the same.
Well, again, without getting too far ahead, obviously, there is something they can do with Braun. But I have no idea what direction they're going to go with Kevin now. No. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing the way being up. Unless Kevin does something drastic.
Unless they just coast him until the shake-up and put him on SmackDown again.
Yeah, but again, it's just like he's getting lost in the shuffle.
Maybe.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it was disappointment.
Then, I wasn't really looking forward to this a lot, but it surprised me, was the SmackDown Women's title match.
Yes, the triple threat. Now... Going into this, obviously, originally it was meant to be Becky versus Carmella, and then Charlotte managed to beat Carmella and said, right,
triple threat.
Becky, triple threat. That's instantly getting tension between the two friends. You can see that Becky's getting pissed off because it's like, well, you spoiling my moment.
Yeah.
And it was a really good, solid match, and one person that really impressed me was Carmella.
Yeah,
at the end of the match, I thought that's the best match she's had, and she's actually proven that she can do this.
Well, it wasn't.
She was quite. There was plenty of times she was dominant, and there was a couple of times she did some decent spots.
Well, that's it. With the spots, I was thinking
for the aprons.
Well, but I was thinking there's something people might be out there going, well, she's being made to look good because of what Becky and Charlotte doing for her. Because No, I don't think so in this match. I'm not saying Becky and Charlotte didn't help, but Carmella kind of thought, I don't know if she thought this, but it's kind of like if she's going to represent SmackDown as the Women's Champion, she's got to pick up the ball and run with it and prove that she deserves to be in the title picture.
Yeah.
And she did. There was the dirty tactics by Carmella, which I liked.
Yeah, she tried to put them against each other as well.
Yeah, she hit Becky in the back of the neck, made it seem like Charlotte.
They did where they didn't go, throwing a few punches with each other. But the way it ended was quite good as well.
Yeah.
The fact that she had her in the
disarm. It looked like she had it.
She was seconds away from tapping, and then literally natural selection, and then she pinned Becky and took the title away. It was a good way to end it. It was a good way to get Charlotte the title again, and it builds up a story between her and Becky for what obviously happened next.
Yes, Becky
turned. She fucking went heel, and it was awesome. Like, honestly,
the loudest pop,
biggest pop of the night, because they were all hugging and embracing. They were crying. Even Charlotte was covering her face because she's like, I can't.
Yeah,
I need to keep some level of character.
Yeah,
and they had a real embrace of a moment, and it was like
it was kind of like this is coming.
Yeah,
Come on.
And I thought to myself, it's going on a bit too long. I think maybe she's not going to do it tonight. Yeah. And then she walked away and then turned around and just clobbered her, beat this shit into her, threw her over the table and walked off. And God, it was amazing.
What was...
everything about it. That's the thing I'm looking forward to going into SmackDown, is what are the repercussions of this?
Because I kind of... I remember as soon as it finished, it went into the few commercials and stuff. And for the entire commercials, it wasn't like, I don't know, prepared to go for bail. All of our table were talking about that. One thing we didn't talk about is, it's probably going to be minor, but the fact that Carmella wasn't pinned to lose the belt. Carmella's going to go to SmackDown. She can use that as an excuse. Going, no, this is bullcrap. What I liked after Becky's attack was Charlotte wasn't exactly under the commentator table selling the physical pain.
Crying.
It was the emotional pain.
She was crying because she realised her best mate had turned on her.
It has just flipped out.
Yeah.
But again...
I don't know if you saw the backstage interview quickly. It's on their YouTube channel.
With Charlotte?
Yeah, with Charlotte. Yeah, they spoke to her and she basically said, I used to have 5 friends and I've got 4. And she screwed me.
Yeah.
She could see her welling up and getting emotional. So she acted well.
Yeah, it's...
And then they tried to get Becky as well. And she just kept walking, and people were running after her. Becky, cut the comments. Can we just? And she just kept walking. You got anything to say? She went no, and just went straight out the door.
I like
it. I like it.
Because
but the problem is, people keep thinking that she's going like soup. The problem is they're clearly telling her heel, but people are so justified in why she's done what she's done that people still root for her. Because of course you'd be pissed off.
Yeah,
she just took it away from her.
That's the struggle of making a heel, because not only are the heels just cooler in this day and age,
depends how they do it.
It's like, hang on a minute, let's think about this. Yeah, I'll be reacting the same way.
I'll be doing the same thing. You fucked me.
That's why NXT's better in a way, because when Ciampa attacked Gargano, it wasn't like, it's Gargano's fault they lost. In fact, at one point in that match, Gargano sacrificed himself for Ciampa, like a good friend would do. So Ciampa's turn on Gargano was so illogical, it drew the hatred to him.
Yeah.
So you wanted to boo it, but with this, it's like, no, we're behind Becky.
Straight away, I was kind of referring it in my head back to Thanos' plot in Infinity War. You know what I mean? You look at it and you go, it's fucking barbaric and it's terrible and awful, but I kind of see his point and I get his point. It's an overabundance of population. It's the same thing here. Yeah. I understand why she's doing what she's doing, because Charlotte fucking screwed her moment. And she built and she was ready for it, and then she got it taken away from her friend. Yeah. So you got every justification to be beating the shit into him.
What I would like, storyline-wise, would be if she gets a match set up for SmackDown this Tuesday.
Yeah.
And she's just keeps refusing to wrestle. And Paige's like, how? You can't refuse.
I don't want to talk in either. No. The fact that she didn't talk when they were trying to interview and she went, no, went out. I want that as well. I want like such minimal things, like one word answers and that's it. I don't.
Well, when Paige does eventually go, I need an explanation, I'm calling Becky out now. Becky can almost start the storyline of, and I'm not saying she should come out with those protest signs, but almost start a hashtag Justice for Becky thing, because she'll know the people will be behind her.
Yeah.
But it's still a heel move to do. And if Paige goes, if you're not here to do your job, there's no reason to keep you. Becky can use her... She knows how talented she is. As a heel, if she uses that, and goes, well, if you really don't want me, I know Monday Night Raw ain't going to turn me away. And that conflict with Paige of going, I might have to give Becky what she wants because she's right. She draws money and attention to the women's division of SmackDown.
Or you can have it where she's talking about, oh, well, I'm not going to use you if you're not going to do anything. Maybe I will give you over to Raw. And that's when Charlotte comes out and says, don't you dare take her to Raw. I am going to have this bitch.
Yeah, if Becky really is upset with me or thinks she's better than me, then she can try and beat me.
Yeah, she can prove it.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. But my brother's point, and I kind of agree with him, was at the time before the heel turn, Becky probably was the biggest legitimate face female star in the company. Yeah. And I was like, yes, but the turn, I like that because it's almost unexpected. Obviously, the fans are getting smarter, so we did think it might happen. But a few years ago, like, The Rock was white hot. I think it was 98 or something like that. Apart from Stone Cold Steve Austin, the other superstar that was white hot with popularity, face-wise, was The Rock. And it looked like he was building up to the WWE Championship, which he did do, but at the last second he turned on the fans and joined the McMahons. That is so genius to take the biggest face superstar, or one of the biggest face superstars you got, and completely go, now he's going to be the most hated superstar.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do with Becky. I don't think it's worked as well as the Rock one, but we'll see where it goes. Next was, again, I was pissed off this was so low down the card, was the WWE Championship.
Yes, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. I mean, the build's not been
slow burner
amazing, but when you actually got into the match, it was a slow burner. Yeah, it started building up, and then it got good.
It was a lot
I was annoyed it was a little bit low down the card. I reckon it could have gone up a couple of spots.
Yeah, it was one of them where it started out... Well, to be honest, the very first half of the match was all kind of quick jabs and kicks, mat-based wrestling, hold moves.
But it wasn't overabundant.
No, but it
was... We're kind of like, right, I feel like they're just trying to build something here. And then it did start to build. It took its time, but it got there.
If you want to have the element of almost trying to convince people this is a real wrestling match... You do have to have holds and stuff, just to kind of show off the skill that he's got.
Joe and Reigns had.
Or, to be honest, I think Joe and AJ could have toned it down a notch and been a little bit more aggressive with each other, which it built up to.
The thing I'm always thinking at the end of this match as well is that there's going to be more. This is the first match they're having. The way they're doing this, they're building a proper feud. So this isn't the blow-off.
Yeah.
This is the first... This is giving you a taste of what they are going to be doing.
I think it was more like, this match, we're going to properly get it into your system that we're wrestling here, but with the way the storyline's going to go, it's going to end up with just being a fight. I did also think maybe... It was kind of in my head making excuses for him in a way. I was watching it when I really wanted the momentum to pick up and just think, well, they are both 40. But yeah, they're both in their 40s, not like they're the young bucks from, no pun intended, the young guys from NXT that can still do that stuff. But so the momentum built up.
He got a Styles Clash, he didn't get all of it.
When Joe landed on his head.
The whole time we were having a chat, he goes, I don't think he can do a Styles Clash on Joe, I don't think he can do it. And he more or less did it.
Well, yeah, it wasn't just the one-armed hook, because he didn't get the other arm, but Joe landed square on his head. Yeah. I was like, fucking hell, that hurt.
But obviously we had AJ's wife and daughter ringside.
Styles,
she's ringside, and that played into Joe's character so fucking perfectly, because they had a little chat at the start on the microphones, introducing that she was there.
Daddy's coming
and then
home.
and then right at the
apex,
end, he was on top of the announce table, and then just said, "I said your dad was going to come home. It looks like that's not going to happen, but I'll be your new daddy."
Oh man, I was
reaction. Like, but it was just, and then he just lost it, didn't he? He ploughed him through the fucking through the barricade.
Yeah,
hit him with a chair.
Well, he was hitting like technicians and stuff.
Yeah, he fucking lost it.
Well, the thing,
it was good. It was perfect for Joe's character.
Well, it was so good. It was the only way I would have liked the match to end, because I was thinking I want Joe to walk out with the WWE Championship. But the way it ended, I was like, this isn't over, so I like the way they're going.
Plus, it means that he won, so he's like, well, I won the match, I need another go. I want to fucking go again.
Looks like, and it makes sense that they should have a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. After that, the opening intros where they spoke to each other, AJ was just like, I'm going to kick your ass. It was kind of like, well, okay, the aggression's there, and then it just kind of, the bell rang, it went, no, mat-based wrestling.
Yeah.
Where the aggression didn't really take place till that moment, where AJ just snapped.
Yeah.
Because again, what helped was he'd cut himself open. So it was almost the reaction of what Joe said and the almost, that whole almost in your own blood kind of makes you go, that helped.
And he went to apologise to the missus and the daughter, but his daughter was a little bit scared.
But that's what I like.
Because of the blood, though.
Because obviously that wouldn't have been scripted. You can't ask a girl of that age to do anything. But the fact that AJ wanted to hug his daughter and his daughter was almost
she hugged him,
afraid.
but then she went to go straight back to her mum.
Well, yeah, so almost afraid of her own father. Of because if Joe mentions that on SmackDown, going, your own daughter was terrified of what you've become.
Yeah.
Look what I've made you. You're the monster I was making you out to.
Yeah, use it. By all means, use it.
Because Joe can say, I know I'm a monster.
Because I can't remember who it was. It could have been Sarah, but it could have been Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was Goffy. I don't know.
We don't know.
It was one of them. And they said, do you think that's too far? And I said, no. They would have signed off on it. Joe and AJ and Vince and Wendy and the kid, they would have had a sit-down conversation and said, look, this is what we're planning to do. They would have signed off on it. They wouldn't have done that and put that position towards a girl if they didn't think she could handle it.
You need to push the boundaries. Otherwise, it becomes stale.
Yeah. And that's why when he said, I'll be your daddy, I was like, that was cool.
I mean, the people. This is what really annoys me. And we're never going to get an Attitude Era back. No. Not the way it was, anyway. But people beg for that kind of era to come back. But as soon as something edgy happens, it was like, we can't have that.
Yeah, it was like ages ago when Punk was going against Taker and he poured the urn all over him. People were like, is that too far? No! It's fucking awesome!
They would have. I don't think they get that. If they'd done that and then it was revealed Paul Bearer's family knew nothing about it, it's like, come on, guys. You've got to get the green light from the family to know it's okay. Like, Punk would have discussed it with Taker, with Vince, with all the people to be, can we go through with this? Because I think the storyline would be great. But, so when all the people at B that you should worry about offending agree with it, go with it. If the fans are offended by it, watch something else.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make a better product for you here, and if you're not going to let us push the boundaries and make it aging, controversy creates cash.
Correct.
Eric Bischoff was right in his book.
He's right.
Controversy creates... Because you might hear about something controversial, go...
I'm tuning into that.
That's it. You go, you won't believe what just happened. It was so out of order. You go, what? And you go, well, yeah, but now I'm intrigued where this is going to go.
Yeah. So that match was... It was a slow burner, but it fucking got there.
It's building up to something better.
He's building good stories.
Elias.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, I mean, he came in, he did his usual talking, he went to start a song and the guitar broke and he went in a strop and fucked off. That was it. And we thought, he'll come back later then. There'd be like a little blow-off at the end of it. Never came back.
No.
But I feel like, like that, it was... I looked at him and...
You're just making excuses.
You literally just putting him in there.
Yeah.
You're just putting him in there for no reason.
But the thing is, again, it's that annoying thing of people do want to see Elias, but think about it.
There's got to be some context to it.
Yeah, because that was about, 10 minutes of the show? Including all the adverts in between. You could have gave that to another match that time length. Yeah, it made the matches better. But
could have given it to fucking Owens and Braun.
Well, this is kind of another weird thing to think of, but obviously he opened as he usually does, Who Wants to Walk with Elias. I was waiting for the WWE stands for thing. It didn't say it once. I was like, that's weird.
What's the point?
But
so yeah, that was pointless.
And then Ms. Bryan.
Yeah, this was good. Yeah. And again, it's similar to the Joe AJ thing, but there's more to come. So they didn't they didn't do a full blowout. It's like, right, we're giving you again a good match, but we've got more to come. Yeah,
it was one of them where it went down exactly the way I thought it would. With obviously the dirty tactics by Maurice.
I didn't think it was going to go the way.
I thought Miz was going to win.
I didn't think he was. I thought. Again, I was thinking in the mind of Vince, and obviously everybody loves Bryan, and I thought he might just do a one and done here, just to get pops for SummerSlam.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I felt that was going to happen, and it didn't. Miz used a foreign object, knuckle dusters.
Yeah,
clocked him in the face, pinned him, and I mean that I'm fine with it because again, going into SmackDown, I'm looking right. What are the repercussions of this?
I think the problem was. I know what they're doing in the rivalry, and I'm fine with the rivalry because yes, the Miz is probably Daniel Bryan's biggest rival, but the crowd weren't as behind Daniel Bryan as I think they should have been, and I think as much as the company thought they would be.
But it's because we all like Miz as well. Even though he's a heel, it's just like when we really like him. When Bryan was going against Batista and Orton, we were against them completely because he was so high at that point, and those two were like, they shouldn't be there in that position. Miz is in that position. he's on par with Bryan at this point. They're on the same path of success.
Yeah.
Either of them could be given the championship or that kind of an opportunity. And you wouldn't say no to either, you know?
It's one of them where, obviously, you had that nostalgia and joy of WrestleMania 34 that Daniel was back in the ring doing what he loved. But once the dust settled, you've got to kind of realise, like, right, he's got to start from scratch now.
Yeah, you can't. And again, which was a bit annoying because when you put him with Cass and that, you're like, can we moving on to better things? But yeah, again,
this is a better thing.
At the same time, you're like, yeah, you can't just chuck him into the title picture because then we're kind of negating our entire point of you just get given opportunities, and that's not how it works.
He hasn't found his pace yet, I don't think.
He's getting there.
He needs to get. He's going to.
This is the first step. This match is definitely the first step.
It's almost like he's on the momentum train, but it hasn't exactly left the station yet.
Yeah.
If you get my drift. This was actually a nice surprise. Finn Corbin.
Yeah.
Because it was the one match the entire night, like, piss break match.
This is going to be the piss break match, and like, okay. And then Corbin came out, I was like, here we go. And then we just hear, boom, boom, boom. I was like, no!
We were thinking, is the demon going to be there? But it was almost like, we're probably not.
No.
And then it happened.
And then it happened. And it was, I mean, he stuck his tongue out.
It's a new demon.
Too much.
Yes, in a way.
It's like, you're not a dog.
But it's kind of like...
Yeah, it was a squash match. Corbin was terrified. And again...
Corbin sold it well.
But yeah, he sold it well, and this is why it's perfect. Corbin doesn't really lose anything here because he's not got much momentum anyway, but this reignites Finn Balor as a character because he was getting stale, and then he go, right, I've still fucking got it, and if I have to drag out the demon to do it, I will. And it's giving him a new breath of life, so people go, right, if this is his mindset, what's going on going forward?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, again, like I say, Corbin sold it really well, the fear of it, and it made him look more like a credible threat.
It was a squash match for Finn against Corbin,
which is good.
It makes sense for a lot of things, because a few weeks ago on Raw, Finn did have a bit of offense on Baron, but pretty much Corbin just destroyed him for 20 minutes. So it was almost like, right, this was the payoff that Finn had to tune back into his dark side for the first time in almost 2 years. And I think the tongue thing was, he's always, especially in NXT, whenever the demon was there, it was always slightly different. Like, you have the Jack the Ripper version,
that's true.
and the Texas Chainsaw version. So this was kind of like, maybe you could either see it as the rebirth of the demon, or this is like a new demon. So it was almost, I don't know, I think we said Darth Maul first.
It looked a little bit
different. But I think he was going for the demon from Insidious. I know you probably haven't seen it. Sorry, that's my phone. I don't think you've seen Insidious.
It's one per podcast.
if you check out, people who know Insidious will know what I'm talking about, but if you check out what the creature in Insidious was like, it's very much what Finn was doing, I think. Very, even from everything from the black and red face to the tongue thing. Yeah. So,
yeah, it wasn't a long match, but it did what it needed to do.
Yes. Yeah. So that was that. US title.
Yes. Pretty decent. It was alright.
It was okay.
I think the main thing for me was the swanton onto the apron. The thing that makes me laugh, though, he did that and fuck, it looked painful.
Yeah.
But literally, like 2 weeks ago in an interview, he was saying, I don't do the swanton as much as I used to because I'm 40 and it's really starting to hurt.
Yeah.
Then you do it on the fucking apron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, Jeff, mate, stick to your guns. If it's hurting a lot, don't do it too much. I understand the spot, and don't get me wrong, it's fucking awesome, but I don't want you to have to retire like your brother seems to be doing.
It's almost like, I do get why they do this, but back in when we watched wrestling, well, we still do, obviously, but actually, when we first started with the Attitude Era and even the Ruthless Aggression Era and stuff, the card would be rise, 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 all the way to the main event. Nowadays, it seems like, because of the Finn thing, it's like, right, let's just settle it down again.
It's peaks and troughs.
Yeah, so that they've got enough energy for the next thing. So Shinsuke Jeff felt that way to me.
I'm not saying it wasn't like it was an amazing match, but it was solid and it did what it needed to do, and Shinsuke obviously won.
Well, they had the mock-in at the start, which I liked.
That was quite interesting.
Shinsuke sold brilliantly because he's just, Shinsuke's cool.
Yeah.
Then it just seemed like a standard match, and then there was the spot with the Swanton and Kinshasa.
So that was it, and then Orton came out. And he came
all the way to the ring.
Yeah, and then he went, nah, fuck this, and walked off.
But again, I'd understand if Jeff had stayed down, because Orton's like, well, I'd have to do anything. But as soon as Orton went away, Jeff was up and like, yeah, thank you so much. I was expecting him to slide back and do RKO.
Yeah, me too.
But it's just like,
didn't happen.
Orton's changed his mind, Jeff's back up, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Great. So, Shinsuke's still US champ.
Again, I think maybe with the Orton thing, it's a slow burner, because I think there was an interview thing, quick like backstage thing, and he basically said, "I'll deal with Jeff in my own way, on my own terms."
Yeah, probably the next pay-per-view that means.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
So,
yeah, it was alright. Yeah, it was just standard.
Yeah. Then Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey.
Yes, for the Raw Women's title. Natalia obviously came out as well in a Daz jacket, which was great.
Tribute. That's good.
The Bella Twins on the side, and for fuck knows what reason. I've done seen this. I've got to do something to fill my time.
I'm going to keep stum about the Bellas because I won't be impartial. I've got my own opinion of them, but I can't be impartial with them because I hate them.
I know many that I just don't like them.
They're not worth my time.
No, same here. I'm not interested. I mean, this was another squash match. And I didn't expect... And I do agree with you to a point.
I'm on the fence with this one.
Ronda is probably too soon for her. But I still felt kind of good when she got it. I don't... Because they used the whole fact that Alexa Bliss has double joints to their advantage and made it look fucking painful.
It did look horrible.
They locked it in. She tapped pretty much straight away and took the title. It was over in a few minutes. But... I'll be honest, I think Ronda told stories well. The fact I'm not going to look, I'm going to sit here and everything. Then she went in for the sleeper hold and then just did nothing.
It.
So she was telling stories well. So the great thing about Ronda is that each match she's having, you can see there's improvement every time.
Yeah. Whether
it's storytelling or ability or ring awareness, whatever it is, there's something that she's improving on each time.
Yeah.
And this time it was storytelling.
Well, my theory, obviously, going in was I wanted Natalia to turn on Ronda. Now, maybe that was the plan, but maybe Jim Neidhart's...
I was going to say, I thought that as well, but the death was
maybe
like, leave it for a bit,
But I can almost get why she was out there to support Ronda as well, but her putting her out there in the first place makes you think something's going to happen.
Yeah. Plus, she put a tweet up, Natalia did, basically saying she's really humbled and happy that she came out and everything, talked about her dad, talked about the win, and then she goes... going to Raw tomorrow night, it's a brand new start and a fresh start.
Yeah.
And that's what got me there, that fresh start thing. I was like, right, she got a plan.
Yeah.
Which makes you think maybe they will go for the heel turn.
The thing with... apparently, if you wonder why Mickie James isn't been about, apparently she's injured.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they've thrown Alicia Fox in recently.
Yeah.
But Alicia didn't even appear.
No.
But the thing is, Alexa came in with such confidence... Again, it was like the Kevin thing, like, well, she must have a plan because it's obvious that Ronda's going to dominate. So it would have made sense for Alicia to be out there and Alexa to almost rely on the cheating and then Ronda to overcome it and then the destroying. I know my theory...
I am on the fence. I do agree. I kind of am on the fence, but...
For your second singles match...
Yeah, I would say it is too soon, but one of our mates made a very good point. The reason they're probably putting the title on her is because the next pay-per-view is the Women's Evolution. So it's like, if you want to make this a real... No, I meant like...
Yeah, they got the Women's pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's when it's coming soon.
Yeah.
So they want her champion when they go in there because... They want to make this as big as they possibly can. So if you get the baddest woman on the planet with the Raw title on her shoulder, it gives that extra bit of credibility.
I get that in a way. Like from why I was on the fence about it was, again, it's not only a second singles match ever, but both her singles matches have been for the Raw title. It seems like they could have had a lot more of, we know how good Ronda is, but people keep screwing her, or she gets that close, so you build it up more to WrestleMania, and it's that much sweeter.
Which I would have been fine with, and originally I thought that's what they were going to do.
Like
I thought maybe Natalia would turn on her, and then they'd feud for a few pay-per-views.
That's what I wanted.
Keep her away from the title, and then eventually get back in and maybe she wins the Rumble or some shit. I don't know.
Again, I get that Ronda is the hottest thing in the women's division.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's striking while the iron's hot.
She's picked it up like a fish to water. Yeah. So because when she came out with that makeup, it almost like a black swan thing.
One thing I liked is when she arrived, she didn't even come up smiling. She was business.
But she was all business.
She just went straight down the ring with a look of rage. Well, when she was not fucking about.
When the black swan kind of came out, I was like, I'm not sure about that. But when she closed her eyes and crossed legged in the ring, and Alexa came with that sleeper hold. When her eyes opened and she almost rose, almost like ape-like, just like fists on the floor, picked herself up with Alexa on the back, and then just decimated her.
It was cool.
It was
cool. Good storytelling.
But see, with the evolution thing, Right. If we knew, without getting ahead of ourselves, because it's, well, spoiler, next match is Lesnar, Reigns, Lesnar loses. I've got to say that because of what I'm about to say here.
Go on then.
If Lesnar was going to stick around after what happened at SummerSlam, without the Universal title, and he, say, went to Survivor Series, the next big one, if you had Brock Lesnar in a match against someone and a Universal title match, you've got two marquee matches there. That's how I feel about the Ronda thing. You could have had a Raw Women's Championship match and a Ronda Rousey match.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't need the title of Ronda to drag them in.
Shouldn't need it.
So, again, I'm interested in where they're going to go with it.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. I mean, it was a nice moment, I suppose. I wasn't against it when I was watching it.
No.
You know what I mean? We'll have to see where it goes.
I mean, I don't know where Nia is, so I don't know if Nia's going to come burst in and go, I want my rematch against you, and it will go from there. So, yeah, then we'll kind of already give it away.
Yeah. Well, you know, people who listen to this podcast, they know what this results are, I think.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Universal title.
I mean, this is probably the first time since S.H.I.E.L.D. collapsed that I was behind Reigns winning. Not because I don't like Brock Lesnar. It's literally, I have got to this point now, I think I've already stressed it on a couple of pay-per-views, podcasts, that I'm just sick of the title not being on Raw. It's annoying. It's a tool to build a good story, to build a good feud, and when it's not there as that tool, it really just, there's always something missing on that program. Yeah. And that's what kept getting on my nerves. It's like, if it has to be Reigns that they put it on, fine. So that's like when, because obviously Strowman came out at the start. As soon as they were introduced, Strowman came out straight away and basically said, as soon as whoever wins this match, I am cashing in straight away, and he stayed outside. But as soon as he did that in the bell ring, Reigns went straight in with Superman. And I was going, go on, and he was spearing, and I was like, fucking hit him again! It's like, I wanted him gone. I'd never been like them before, going, do it!
It wasn't like the match was bad. Again, it was just the kind of expected spot fest we know and love with these Lesnar matches. Brock was selling them very well. Yeah. Like, it almost looked like Brock was selling them like they were much stronger than before, which is a smart thing to do. Mm-hmm. What I don't like about it is what I love about wrestling is I want to watch a match where it, to put it bluntly, increases my heart rate. That I'm that invested in it. And then there's the other times where I'm just in dismay of, oh, for fuck's sake, why have you done that? This, my heart rate was just the same level. It just felt quite monotone to me. Yeah, no, because
I did quite enjoy it, I'll be honest. I really enjoyed it.
It was one of them where if the match was great and Roman Reigns won the belt, I still would have been, it would have been that kind of smile of, okay, that's happened, we've got the belt back in Raw, and that's why people are going to be mainly happy that the Universal title's back on a weekly show. But just the way they went about it, again, it opened great, like you say, with what Roman was doing, and then Brock got a bit of a fence in.
Yeah, he had 5 Strowman.
But that's it.
He threw the case at the top of the ramp.
Oh, that was cool. Flew. But the thing with Strowman, it's kind of like, okay, and then he took a chair to him, and then all it took was just that distraction and one more spear to do it. And that's what annoyed me too.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been alright with a spear, and then he rolled back up.
Kick out,
no, not a kick out, like a spear, and then
maybe another one.
And then as soon as he kind of rolls back to his feet quite quickly with the memento, and then hits him again straight away. Take 2 and go. Yeah, I could agree with that. But
it was just more. We've seen in the past Brock can take more punishment than that, so it was just more for me when the 3 count happened. I know there was the pop, but to me it was more like, oh, is that it?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, is Braun going to get it back up? He didn't.
And he never did.
And so it kind of made the Braun thing pointless. Because I was going to say this. What would have made more sense for me is Roman was in Heyman's face after he did it. He had the belt. If the case hadn't been lobbed up to the ramp, if Braun had just rose after that, like a monster from the ashes, and then had the case, like, I told you, I would have loved Kevin to run down there, nick the case, and run away. Not so Kevin becomes Mr. Money in the Bank, but you can't cash in without a case.
That would be funny, actually.
So he screws Braun now. But again, it now makes everything that Heyman was trying to do, or what the message they were getting across with Heyman, irrelevant. Sorry again. But unless, again, something happens on Raw.
Yeah, I guess it depends what happens on Raw, because it sounds like he's doing writing now.
Yeah,
because
he's helping the writers.
This entire feud, he's been writing it, which is why he's been actually quite decent this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's helping the writers, so I don't think he's going anywhere, even though Lesnar is.
Yeah.
So he's got to be put with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Strowman. It could be Owens still. Reigns could eventually get a working relationship with him. I don't know. But I think there's something for him.
We always speculated what could have happened. And a lot of it was maybe Heyman and Braun. Maybe Heyman and Owens. But the one thing everybody really wanted was Heyman and Reigns with that Reigns heel turn.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's what Heyman pitched. And right at the end of it, Vince goes... Everything's fine with that, but there's no way Reigns turning heel.
Yeah.
And it turned into that kind of lacklustre end.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the worst thing in the world, weren't the worst pay-per-view end in the world, just wasn't what the fans wanted.
It wasn't like I was elated to the point where like I was ecstatic or anything, but when he was standing up there with the strap at the end, it was kind of like that sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? One, the feud between him and Lesnar is finally fucking over. It fucking better be.
Yeah.
And two, we finally got the strap back.
That was it.
And that's what it was. It was just that release of air, just going... Right,
yes,
let's fucking move on now. Let's go on to a new feud and get on with our lives.
It wasn't what a championship match should be. Like WrestleMania 30, it was, yes, Daniel Bryan is the world champion. This was more like, yes, we got a new world champion. Irrelevant of who it is, we got the Universal title back.
Yeah.
That's all it really was for us.
True.
So,
just because Reigns has got it doesn't mean he has to keep it for long.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He could have it taken off him and like cashed in, or someone could take it off his pay-per-view, and then he could not have it again until Mania.
This is why I spoke to our mate who was into it and not anymore, all virtual. And he said, why has it become predictable? It's become predictable. Why do you still watch it? He's like, no, because some elements have become predictable. Yeah. I agree. But
every now and then something shocks you and you just don't see it coming.
Yeah, well, it's the old cliche of anything can happen in the WWE, which is, I think, why we keep coming back. And it's more, I get that Birch's point of like, well, the storyline's getting predictable yet. Yeah, but sometimes the quality of matches that they can put on, it's not the athlete's fault whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like they put on such a good match, you forget about the actual feud or the storyline or the reason they're doing it.
At the end of the day, it's a wrestling show.
You're literally just invested in that match at that point, and you're just like, that's amazing.
If it was just about storylines, we'd watch a normal soap opera. This is a wrestling show. Yeah. We're in to watch wrestling. So, out of 10, how would you give it?
For me, I'll go with an 8, I think. I really enjoyed it. I know there was a couple of controversial moments, disappointed in the Owens thing, but overall, I enjoyed my night. I think there were some really good moments, some good matches. We finally got the strap back on Raw. Yeah, I mean, overall, I had a good time, and I did think I enjoyed it more than Mania, because the whole point of Mania is that the second half I was getting bored.
Yeah.
And I never got bored at this point. Even with the ones that we thought were going to be the piss break match, ended up surprising us.
Yeah.
You know, so things like that, I just go, right, okay, well, they made more of an effort than I thought they would, and I enjoyed it, so...
But presently, again, this might change in hindsight, because it's one of them where a lot of the things done, it's like, well, hopefully they've done this because they're going to do this and it will work, or I hope that they might drop the ball. So, at the minute, I'm going to give it 6.5.
6.5, okay.
Purely because there was a lot of matches that didn't really live up to the quality I was expecting, and some of the decisions just, at the moment, again, because anything can happen, it could be part of a bigger plan, just haven't sit right with me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
See where we go.
We'll go, yeah,
but
it's
we'll
wait and see.
We've got an 8 and a 6.5. Overall, I think it was a reasonable night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, again, we've always had a good night out in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Again, whoever didn't buy it on box office, if that was the case, you had one job.
Yeah, literally purchase something.
Yeah. But, yeah, SummerSlam,
so
next time back will be Hell in the Cell, I think.
So, yeah, it's in a few September time, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully no one else will be dead.
Yeah.
They seem to get a lot of people out of the way. Yeah, so...
so like we'll say, we'll be back in the cell. Like and subscribe. Again, we're on SoundCloud, Stitcher and iTunes, and obviously we'll be up on the Beards of You YouTube. Hopefully we should be able to get it up today.
Yes.
I'm hoping. So keep a lookout for it, and yeah, we'll be back in a month.
Yes. Fairly well.
Bye.